Trump's remarks are very outrageous.
Obviously, what he said is ridiculous and it would never happen.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
What's up, beautiful, beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting me on this channel. Trust y'all are doing good, and thank you for subscribing. So in today's video, these Arab Americans that voted for Trump are now realizing that he lied to them. Okay, he let them down when he made this Gaza remark to bring down Gaza, shatter it to the floor, and send the inhabitants out. Okay, so these videos just started popping up, and shout out to all the creators in this video. All right, so this video started popping up on my For You page. I started seeing all these videos of Arabs coming out to say, okay, we actually voted for him because he promised us this, because he said he's going to do this, he said he's going to do that. Okay, so those videos have started coming out, and we have started seeing the role they actually played in the election. Let's get into these videos and let me know what you think in the comment section.
I'm here in Dearborn, the largest Arab majority city in the US, and the war in Gaza was a deciding factor in the presidential election here. In this largely liberal city, President Trump won, and that was a big deal. We came here to speak to the Arab American community to find out how they feel about President Trump's comments about taking over Gaza.
I voted third party. I think it's unlawful and delusional for him to think that he can displace Gazan people from Palestine, and that is calling for ethnic cleansing.
I voted for Donald Trump. The initial reason why I voted for him was that he promised to bring stability to the Middle East and, to focus more of our resources on our country.
Do you regret voting for Trump?
I feel like I do and I don't. It's like mixed feelings, because I feel like if I did vote for Kamala or I didn't vote at all, my vote would have went to waste. She might have won, and I don't think that it was in her best interest to have a ceasefire.
No one should be shocked by it. This guy's illiterate. He's never read a book about Palestine or maybe a book about anything.
How did you vote in November?
Stein.
Why did you choose not to vote for Trump or Harris?
If the Democrats would have won the White House, no one would have ever listened to us ever again. They would have said these people cry wolf, they'll eventually come around, or their votes don't mean anything. We couldn't let that be the case.
Make one thing very, very, very clear. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't win. Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. Bitch, I will vote for Satan if I have to. Remember, no one's free until we're all free. And we can't protect ourselves if we can't protect each other. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against the fascism that's been here, but finally popping its head out and being loud and proud about it. And unless we do something, really come together, it's gonna get real bad.
So let's clear this up. Since there's a lot of new people coming to my page because of misconceptions, lies, and rage bait, I'm gonna give you guys the facts. First off, I never voted for Trump. I was one of the people who came out and actually called out the Arabs for Trump and the Yemenis standing next to Trump and said, you guys look fucking stupid. You can't stand next to a person that actively disrespects not just our community, but all the communities. And he's obviously a white supremacist and a capitalist that will step over your dead body to go make sure he's making a profit and make his stockholders happy. The same way the Biden and Kamala Harris administration and those people would do the same exact thing. I said I would rather vote for Satan than Kamala because I can't, with good conscience, vote for or tell anyone else to vote for the people who are actively committing a genocide. The people who are funded by the same people as the orange fascists. The same people are funded on both sides, so I will not vote for either one of them ever again. I voted for Biden. I said I will never vote for the Democrats or Republicans ever again. Why? Because they are controlled by the same people. They are owned by the same people. Only way to get change is to do something different. We've done the same thing of picking the lesser of two evils for 100 years, and look at the situation we're in. All we get is performative actions and performative activism. I'm done with that. We need real change and real power, and I'm following the people who are doing it outside of the system, outside of the control and reach of the oligarchy. So if that's not you, if you want to stay a part of the democratic plantation, that's fine. Don't get mad at me for disrespecting a war criminal just because she happened to be a woman and has melanated skin. At the end of the day, I'm calling her out, and I disrespected her just like I call the Trumps, the Bidens, the fucking Bushes, the Obamas, the Clintons, all of them, all of the corrupt politicians. I call them all out equally. And the sad thing is, you guys are more mad at me for disrespecting a war criminal than you're mad at the war criminal for the crime she's committing. And as Malcolm said, the Republicans are wolves and the Democrats are wolves in sheep clothing. If you're still playing the two-party system and the two-party game, you are not really about revolution, and you are not calling for unity. I've been calling for unity for 10 years. That video that you guys seen of me saying, this is a time we have to come together more than ever, I wasn't even talking about my community that needed the protection right now. I'm more worried about the Latino community and the people that are going to be most affected by the deportations and all of the stuff that Trump is going to do the next 4 years. We knew what comes with Trump, but we're prepared because we are going to stand firm and we are going to stand together regardless of who is in power.
This guy is just being delusional and being disrespectful to KH, alright? Because it's like he forgot that the internet never forgets, okay? If it was a tweet or a chat or a message, alright, it's possible for him to come online and deny the fact that, oh, I wasn't the one that typed this, somebody picked my phone. But this was a video, for crying out loud. You came online, you made a video that you would rather vote for Satan than vote for KH, and then you have the guts to come after you have realized that, oops, I think I made a mistake. And instead of you to just develop the courage and own up to your errors and your mistakes, you are coming online to eat your words and say, yeah, that was not what I meant. I didn't vote for Trump. But guess what? People do not care, okay? They don't believe you, all right? Whatever it is that you said in the previous video that you made is what people are standing on, all right? So the next time you want to make a video, think about it. Choose your words carefully because you never can know. Karma is real.
Right quick, you all tell me if you remember the following.
Vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
So that was a member of the Muslim American community there in Dearborn, Michigan, who told us if we voted for Kamala Harris, that we were not welcome in their community. And that was because of stances over Gaza, right? Well, yeah, this is going to be kind of awkward. Hold on.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible.
Hold on. He's not finished.
People of the area do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
So this your man's, right? This your man's here talking about turning a demolition site into the Riviera of the Mideast. And those of us who stood with you, you told us we wouldn't welcome in your community if we didn't vote for your man's here, or Jill Stein, right? Question, where's Jill Stein now? Well, she doesn't seem to be answering the phone right now. And while I will never be okay with the carpet bombing of children, I will say this. If you all need any help in the community you told us we wasn't welcome to, since Jill Stein isn't answering, remember, you can always call Ghostbusters. Questions?
I came home the day I met Trump, and I gave my son a MAGA hat, and I said, I guess we're there. And he said, ew. His first words to me were, ew. I said, but Baba, he said he's going to stop the war. And he said, okay, that's it. Give me that hat. We're voting for Trump. And that's the sentiment, not just of an 8-year-old, but of an entire community. If you're going to stop the war, even if I don't like you, I'm on your team.
Has anybody heard from the Muslim leaders from Hamtramck and Dearborn, Michigan? The mayor of Hamtramck, you know, the one that started praising and kissing Donald Trump's ass just before the election, and said because of Trump's promise to protect Gaza and the Palestinians, everybody should vote for Donald Trump. And he got a whole lot of the Muslim community around Detroit to vote for Donald Trump. I'm just wondering if anybody heard from those leaders. I mean, after Donald Trump came and made the token visit to tell them sweet lies so that they could sell out their own people, they went on the local news channels and told Detroiters, vote for Donald Trump, don't vote for Kamala Harris. Because he stands for Palestine, he stands for peace in that whole conflict. And you could see the sliminess of these leaders, these men who persuaded much of their community to vote for Trump. Has anybody heard from them? I just want to know, has anybody heard? Because Trump barely won Michigan. Had they not followed these shady, slimy leaders, those in the Muslim community, maybe Kamala Harris would have at least won Michigan. But I just want to know, where are they? They're not on our news stations tonight talking about Donald Trump's press conference to take over Gaza. They're not on the news channels here in Detroit. They were all over the place, just like that, when they could be to promote Donald Trump. But where are they tonight? I want to know where the fuck they are.
If you don't want to vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
Palestine is central for some voters to decide how to cast their vote in the polling booth. But with war raging in the Middle East, can Kamala Harris convince some of them to back her campaign?
Do either of the candidates have a voice that you can ally yourself with?
And none of the major candidates, absolutely not. They're both the same.
She says words such as self-determination and too many Palestinian lives have been lost, as if there is a number that's acceptable. And I don't understand how my people's lives are lost, as if they can't be found, instead of them being deliberately targeted by the very weapons that she continues to fund and to send.
There isn't much of a difference between him and Kamala Harris. But I do know one thing. If Donald Trump was president while the genocide was going on, you'd have a lot more Democrats with a backbone willing to call Donald Trump a war criminal for allowing it to happen.
So a pro-Trump group called Arab Americans for Trump just announced that they will be changing their name to Arab Americans for Peace after Donald Trump proposed taking over Gaza and redeveloping it to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East. So here's what the group's leader said as to why they are dropping the for Trump from their name and changing it to for peace. Quote, "The talk about what the president wants to do with Gaza, obviously, we're completely opposed to the idea of the transfer of Palestinians from anywhere in historic Palestine. And so we did not want to be behind the curve in terms of pushing for peace because that has been our objective from the very beginning. Yet, if that was your objective from the beginning, then why were you supporting a guy who wanted to enact a Muslim ban and who was so transparently obvious in siding completely against the Palestinian people? Like, whether or not you supported Kamala Harris was one thing, but there is no denying that she was more benevolent to the Palestinian people than Donald Trump. It's unfortunate that it took Donald Trump saying he wants to level Gaza for this group to realize that supporting Donald Trump may not have been in the best interests of the Palestinian people.
Just imagine when that woman said, if you give your vote to KH, don't expect to be welcomed back by my community. Please, guys, where is that woman now? Because we really need to know where she is. We need to ask her just some questions, okay? Because I know if she is found, she would also throw her words, all right? And the fact just remains that the Arab American community was played, okay? They were played and they fell for it. Okay, imagine now they are changing their name from Arabs for Trump to, what is it? Arabs for Peace. They all blindly followed Trump, all right? And they didn't even stop to think about their fellow people in Gaza, all right? I think it's too late to drop the name, all right? And I don't even think Trump cares that you dropped this name. It is what it is. He just used you to get his votes into office. And he's a politician. I mean, that's what politicians do. And the only thing that is happening now is that you are finding out. And the fact that you are finding out is making you angry. Okay, you have all these emotions in place, thinking, oh, how could we have been so gullible? How could we have been so stupid? How could we have been so this? How could we have been so that? But it's too late, all right? You did not stop to think deep, all right? You just chew his words, you chewed on his promises, and you took it hook, line, and sinker. Well, there's nothing you can do now than to wait and hope that whatever it is that is planning with Gaza is going to favor your people. Because believe it or not, you still have people in Gaza. All right? Palestinians are still there. Your people are still there. So just pray, fingers crossed, and hope that whatever it is that is planning in his head is going to favor your people. Or else you're going to bite your finger for a very long time. And it's going to be a long 4 years. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this development. I really can't wait to read your comments and hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to stay safe. Ciao.